Hi guys, this is Gary Chan on another video on house hacking. Wanted to show you what I've been working on, which is my kitchen sink. I wish I could have showed you some before and after pictures because this thing had looked pretty messed up. Had the same color as my countertops, like this kind of creamy color, but there were a lot of scrapes, nicks, discolorations, and didn't look good. It looked like a rehab house, which is really what this house was like. And now you can see that it's got a really new, nice finish. Could be a little bit better around here and here. And let me show you what kind of tools I used. So this is actually like a sanding disc that goes on a 5-inch angle grinder. Well, here the label says 4.5-inch angle grinder. This is a Menards product. I think it costs like about $20 to $25. And this angle, the paint removal disc, if you can read it there, it says it is a Hart, H-A-R-T, and this is from Walmart. Costs about $7 to $8. So basically, I had a friend help me grind this down, and he used that sanding disc, took off all of the stuff that's shiny here. Okay, so it was almost like a 3-hour grinding job. I was really picky about grinding every surface. So I'm saying, like, he grinded this stuff down, and then I was like, hey, look, you missed this area, grind this down. Oh, you missed this area, grind this down. Grind this side over here. You know what I mean? And there were areas that were tough. So like around this area here. And I was like, okay, go back around. Try and grind this as best as you can. And then he ended up taping it. I'd thrown this out, and I wish I'd shown this stuff before I threw it out. But then I thought, oh, I should do a video on this. So he put tape like that and basically taped that surface and put it in around as best as he could. He taped around the edges. He taped the top part, and he used this, let me show you, it was a good idea. He used this cardboard here, fashioned from some of my other boxes, joint compound box, and he put it up on the top part of it to prevent the paint from getting on the backing surface, the countertop area. Okay, so I'll just pan over to show you, put that there. But okay, so he taped the top part, and he also put this here to prevent paint from getting up there in that area. Okay, and let me show you the bathroom. Same thing with the bathtub. Originally he was just gonna work in the bathtub, and I thought, oh yeah, we've got some extra of this painting spray. Let me show you the product I use. It's a Homex toughest tile, and this comes from Menards for I think like about $40. 2 of these cans. Again, the most important part of this process is sanding, is getting it down. Now the kit comes with 2 of those cans, gloves, and steel wool. We didn't use steel wool. I read some reviews online, some were better than others. They complained saying that this stuff had flaked off. And judging from my previous experience working on wood and painting wood, working on copper pipes and welding, the key critical component that I had forgotten when I had done those was a sanding. Sanding and cleaning and creating that sandy surface helps the paint adhere on that a lot better. Welding, very similar. If I do a video on copper welding, you sand the copper pipe, and then you put this the solder on there, heat it. You put the solder on there, it melts on there, and it gets into the little grooves of that sanded material. Now I've used this. This is a 5-inch orbital sander, also from Menards. Okay, this disc is, judging by the touch, I think it was around a 80 or 120 grit. The higher the number, the more refined it is. Typically, if you're going to sand a door, You're gonna do 200 to 300. This is 80, so it's a little bit rougher. I just like to get a little bit rougher so I can sand a little bit quicker. And we did this bathtub, okay? Same thing with this bathtub. It looked very, there was paint chipping off of the top of it. And so I had him scrape it, sand it with this. I also had used a vibrating sander. Let me show you that. So technically the product is called a 1/4-inch sheet sander, okay? The top surface vibrates. So you can use that. You can use hand sanders, okay? This one attaches to a vacuum cleaner, and you can minimize the amount of dust that goes into the room. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering where it actually vacuums. You probably have to have a different surface than what I have here. One's with holes in it. So that's actually not gonna work in terms of vacuuming, but just wanted to show you that. So the idea though is just use different types of sanding tools to get into the different angles of your bathtub and sand it down and create a rough surface so that this product can adhere. Now what's good about this is you can spray it on thin coats, and it recommends shaking the can for 2 minutes before you apply, then wait 10 minutes. So I would time 10 minutes, spray another coat, time for 10 minutes, spray another coat, and do, they recommend 3 coats. I think we went between 3 to 5 coats. If you do thin layers, we don't want the paint to start dripping. Now, when we air gunned this room, when we air gunned this hallway with gray paint, we had we had dripping issues. So the paint will go on there, and my air gun runs really fast. So you got to go across real fast, and it might not drip for half an hour or an hour. So we had to go back through the hallway, look at it, and it was dripping. We'd have to kind of like use a cloth or like a brush to brush those areas where it was dripping. With this, we don't want that to happen. With the canister, spraying it on there lightly, we didn't have as much of a problem because it wasn't outputting as much paint as my air gun. But I just wanted to let you know, you don't want to go over it too much, and you want to go over it with smooth brush strokes. Like you're spraying it like this, like you're spraying it and you move the can across, and then you start spraying so you don't get drippage, and you're just going a smooth, consistent movement across the surface. You don't want to go, oh, I missed a spot, I'm gonna go back. Oh, I missed a spot, go back. Just go over the surface. Go over the surface. If you see imperfections in certain areas, just continue to go in smooth, broad strokes across the surface. And that will help you get the consistency, the quality that you want. And as you go over the area and it covers, and then you'll see other imperfections, then just give it some time and go over the area again and hit that area where you want more of the product there. Now, when I look at this tub in really close detail, I don't know if you'll notice with certain areas where it's really shiny, and then other areas where it's got kind of a more matte finish, and then here are areas where it's more shiny. So we could definitely have created a better product here if we did it again. We could have went over it again, or had applied maybe a thicker coat, so that way we would have had a more like glossy appearance. So one takeaway I want to give you here is, if you go over this on your first, second, third coat, you'll notice that there's more of a matte finish, meaning that the layer is thinner, it's not as glossy, it has more of a rough kind of appearance to it, like a sandy looking surface. And then if you go over it with more, a thicker coat, or a fourth coat, fifth coat, more coats, you're going to get more of a glossy shiny appearance on the surface. What's better? What's worse? I don't know. I like the way it looks. I'm okay with the matte finish. I think that if it's not as glossy, you're not going to see as much of the imperfections. Same with my walls. I'm going more with a flat paint because I don't want all the imperfections of my walls to show. So I'm going to be testing in my bathroom here a flat finish, and I'm going to be painting a waterproof coating over this, which is actually designed for wood. There's another one's designed for concrete. They don't actually sell it designed for walls, but I've actually done it before. I've used concrete clear paint, that's the waterproofing paint, and I've sprayed it I've painted over on my walls before in my bathroom, and I've actually prevented mold. So I'm going to be going over this with another wood product very similar, designed for wood. It's lower cost. I'm going to go over my walls, and I'm going to just see how that goes. And again, I'm experimenting here. I know this works. I know the process works. I'm just using a different product to see if I can cut my costs, and if it doesn't, I'll spray over again. Now the air gun, spraying this probably only take about half an hour. Another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting vinyl over these walls. It's actually vinyl designed for flooring, but I'm putting on my walls. And then I'm going to be spraying it with this waterproof coating. Another experimental project. Why? It's going to save me thousands of dollars. If I tile these walls, now I put tile on the floor and I put tiles along the walls here. It's kind of covered, but tile here and tile on the floors, okay? We were custom cutting some tiles over here. We put 3 or 4 tiles. It took us like literally 3 hours. Now, if we were better at tiling and got better, I would estimate each custom tile piece might take 20 minutes. Now, most of the tiles in the middle are just standard tile pieces, but when you get to the edges and we're doing edge pieces and custom cuts and pieces like that, you got to take it out, cut it outside, bring it in, and you got to measure it right, then cut it again, and then try to fit it again. And if it doesn't fit, or if it breaks, or if you drop it, you got to cut it again. I had broken 3 tiles. I broke 2 tiles, and there was a tile over here. A guy that was going to work on my house, wobbly, probably drunk, broke a tile, and I said, hey, I'm not having you work on my house. You're drunk. You can't come and work here. And I sent him away. I had to recut that tile. That tile took me probably about 20 minutes to cut and put that back in. So my point is, I would estimate 120 tile pieces to do this wall here, because you got the edge here, you got the edge here, you got the edge here, 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 over here, you got a custom cut on one side of this wall, custom cut on the bottom or at the top. You got along the window here, you got a custom cut along the window. You got a custom cut along the window, along the wall here, along the bottom of the wall. Okay, you got this triangular area. Got this piece that holds water in so it doesn't drip on the floor. Now you got the triangle cut here, a cut here along there. I'm telling you, there's a lot of angles. It looks like a small space and it'll be easy, but you start cutting along all these corners and edges, the bottom, the top. It's gonna take a long time. 120 pieces, maybe if it was 20-30 minutes each, that's 60 hours of work. At $15 an hour, that's gonna be $900 just to custom cut those. Now you got the pieces in the middle. That's gonna be, however long, a long time. I'm telling. I did my estimate, just ballpark figure earlier, like $2,000, $2,500 to $3,000, $2,000 to $3,000. Let's say $2,500 just to put tile in here, and that's like, I've got half of it already done, the floor and this side here. So I'm gonna try experimental. The vinyl piece cost me $60, and if it takes me 2 to 3 hours to install the vinyl, I'm talking like a 15 an hour, another, let's say 3 hours times 15, $45. If it takes 4 hours, it's $60 of install time. Now I still got to spend money for caulking silicone to do the edges. That might be another hour and a half, Now I know you're going to say, hey, you get an expert caulk it real fast, but you come in here, you caulk it. There's a lot of angles, there's a lot of edges. You got to come in again and then get all the little fine details. I don't know. Let's say it takes an hour. That's great, less than an hour. But anyway, I'm just giving you a ballpark numbers. It always, from my experience, from my limited experience, it always takes longer than it looks. Now, this tub that I'm showing you, we sanded this, took maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just the sanding. Now the spraying, that was fast. The actual spraying with these cans, probably like, you spray it 5 minutes, I mean, literally, you probably spray like 2 minutes and then wait 10 minutes. You go work on something else, come back here, spray it again. So every 10 minutes you spray it. The spray job here is probably less than a 10-minute job. But the prep time, now we got to tape all this stuff down and protect it. That's where the work comes in. Prep. Same thing over in my kitchen here. You got to prep, put the tape down, clean the area, clean the surface, sand it down, tape the area around this too. You know what I mean? Take this out. This thing here, take that out. Put it back in later. It's a lot of prep. So 3 hours, 4 hours of prep there. 3 hours of prep over there. Paint job, less than an hour, 2 hours. This here total was an 8-hour job, okay? Between this and there. Now, if you skip the sanding and you spray it, you could literally have the job done in 30 minutes, but the job's not gonna last. I don't think it's gonna last. I had done my tub in my other house using Rust-Oleum paint, and I saw a pro level video on the Rust-Oleum. You mix A and B. It's in like 2 little cans. Part A goes into part B. It's an epoxy, and these guys were doing it in their rentals, and they last years. So I know I'm not doing that right. Now, the downside to that is that if you paint it with a brush, you're gonna get brush strokes. So I decided to go with this product, this Homax, once again. You shake it up for 2 minutes, and you spray it, and you apply it every 10 minutes, and then within 6 hours. So this is over 6 hours, so this is done. If I spray it again, it may not adhere to itself well. So I'm gonna leave it alone and leave it the way it is, even though I've got kind of like a matte areas and some kind of glossy areas. I think it looks like really quite new. It looks really nice. We're gonna perfect this process. I'm going to stick with matte finish anyway, probably, because if it's too glossy, once again, I see imperfections in the tub. So learning, perfecting, and seeing how things go. But I do like to spend the time sanding this down, so that way the product adheres well. And that's where this product, again, this is a Homax Toughest Tile product, where it gets its really good reviews. Are people happy with the product, saying, hey, look, it gives a nice finish and it lasts. Bad reviews, I take a shower and the stuff's coming off within months. Now, I just installed this, so I don't know how long this is going to last. Maybe in a couple months I'll do another video, say, hey, look, this product is not lasting as long as I want it to. This product costs about $40. There's Rust-Oleum mixing A and B components, probably very similar to how this works. You just shake this up, and then it kind of mixes A and B and has an epoxy kind of, chemicals in there, and you just spray it. What I like about this, spraying it, gets a thin coat, very smooth air gun look or air brushing kind of look to it. Very smooth professional quality look to it. And what else? Oh, the Rust-Oleum, I might one day figure out how I can put this into an air gun and then spray it without damaging it. Maybe I could run mineral spirits through my air gun to clean it out so the epoxy doesn't clog it up. But my air gun machine costs $200. So I don't want to, at this time, take the risk of damaging my air gun. Are there any other key things I want to add to this? I don't know. I guess those are the key things I wanted to say. So this is a $40 product. I paid my guy about $120 to do the work for these two areas. So that's $160. And believe it or not, man, this looks like a whole new bathtub and a whole new kitchen faucet area, kitchen sink. I'm very happy with the results here. So I'll do another video on the vinyl as I finish up my walls here. Oh, let me show you my vinyl, and I think it looks really nice. Right here, I'm gonna have this stuff here, okay? And that's gonna go into my bathroom. So I think it's gonna give it a really professional look. I know right now it looks kind of nasty, but here's my before picture before I put it in later. And maybe I'll show it again. If I don't, then you'll have to see this video, and then you'll see my after video after I've installed it and explain how I've done it and I've done everything. But hope that helps. Oh, one other thing, cover your fixtures. Very important. Cover your fixture before you start spraying all this stuff, okay? All right, I'm gonna sign out for now, and you guys have a great day.